folks, welcome to a new Let's Play of mine. It is Shining Force, Resurrection of the Dark Dragon, as you can see there. This is actually a remake of the first Shining Force, which is Shining Force, The Legacy of the Great Intention for the Sega Genesis. Of, I think it was, what, 93? 94? Something like that? Anyway, let's get started. This game is for the Game Boy Advanced, and it's actually not a bad remake. You can. Sorry, I'm just on mic right now. Oh, hold on. Let's actually get going. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to have you guys suffer for that one. All right, I'm gonna start a new one, and this is the ferry. And I've already taken up 2 slots before. One was a test video. The other before one was a just a regular game to really get things going. So right now we'll start book number 3, or not book number 3, but we'll start the 3rd save slot, and we'll name our character the default name, which is Max. Yes, it's a very cool name. And before we get started, there's a couple things I want to tell you guys about. There's a lot of new additions, one being like a time travel style. Another is kind of like a, not really a subconscious conversation, but like, I guess it would be kind of a telepathic style conversation that will be starting actually pretty soon in this video, and a lot of different things before battles, and even a new addition which is called the pretty much the use of cards. That'll be explained a little bit more in this part as well. So with that, let's get started with this LP of Shining Force, The Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. And here's the first real noticeable difference between the first 2 games, or not the first 2 games, but this game and the Great Intention. And as you can see, graphics has been really revamped. And another addition is Max talks. Yes, the hero actually talks now. And you never really saw that in the first one. They kind of go at it a little bit, but not to this extent. And you can even see the clash of the sword on armor. Alright. Now, the controls are a bit different as well, because now you can go in the diagonal and up and down, left, right. But you can pretty much, do a kind of pretty much the notorious Nintendo style walks. As opposed to what the Sega Genesis had in the first game, which was just going square by square by square. This kind of removed that style. And here's Lo. As you can see, he has a portrait, which means he'll be joining the Force in the future. And if you guys really played the first game, there really isn't that much difference in character, except for a few more additions. There's also a split path, in which there's two different stories that will interconnect, which is what I'm going to explain. As you can see, when a character talks to you, that character doesn't assume what you're going to say, because your character actually talks back. So, and that soldier pushed us out of the way, asshole. Alright. Getting kind of mixed frame rates here. It's kind of highly graphical, so I'm trying to do it with low frame rates. And here's also the kind of. I'm not sure if they really did that. I think in the first game they actually just started off chapter 1 and then went into the story. And of course, another new addition is the map of where Gardenia, and Runefaust 6. Or not really Runefaust, but just the map of Rune. Now here's a priest. He wants to know if I can guess what dream he had. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader here. Not even Lord Max can read minds. Sorry. And he's going to talk about how Max was found, which is what they never added. This is just another addition to the whole story. They kept the original story but added so much to it from the Great Attention. So yeah. And here's what the typical priest for a Shiny Force game will give you the options of: record, which is pretty much to save games; revive characters that are exhausted. Nobody really dies per se. There's going to be a couple people that actually die in this game, but they're just considered exhausted after losing all their HP. So here's promote. Once you get it to a certain level, I think in this one the minimum is level 10, just like in the first one. But I'm going to try to get a little bit higher than level 10 to promote, because the higher you go beyond the minimum requirement for promotion, the better the stats later on. For at least for some people, some kind of have reduced. And here's cure, pretty much cures to paralyze people, people that are poisoned, and so on. I'm not going to do any of that right now. So let's go. But yeah, it's a nice little game here. I mean, they kept the songs, which is quite nice. I'm glad they didn't really change that, except the little bit more. They put a little bit more oomph into it. I think would be the better phrase I can actually think of right now. It's quite nice that they really changed it from the 16-bit to I don't remember what kind of the advanced is. Okay, so let's talk to this guy. His name is Nova, and he will be actually our advisor for the entire game. Alright, hope I didn't go too fast there. Of course, he doesn't trust us. That's fine. Alright, and yeah, you're gonna have to accept if you want to get on with the story. Otherwise, you can't really move out of town or anything like that, because the guards will stop you. So let's just accept and move on with the storyline. Oh. Okay, let's talk about the companions, and here's the other difference. There's a considerable amount of differences here. In the original the Great Attention, you would just exit out of the castle, move a little bit further down from the entrance of the castle, and your team will show up. But they in this one, you have to go to your HQ, which is right here, and I have no control over that. So there's Ken. Again, he's a knight, as he said, and I will keep probably a lot of the original characters. I probably might switch a few here and there, maybe, but a lot of it probably will be a lot of the original characters in the end. There's Cal. She's a mage, which is quite nice to have. She actually does have level 1 blades, so that's always nice to have. His blades. He's Hans is actually a pretty good archer. Says he's not good at fighting, but he does some good amount of damage. There's Luke. At the start, he does have a great amount of defense. He will take punishment like no other, kind of like a tank. But I think later on he might lose that defense. But actually, I don't think he does. Now that I think about it. But he does gain a high attack too, so he's kind of a little bit both, kind of a well-around warrior. And of course, a good old Shining Force fashion that they kept in from the Great Attention is that Lo comes in late. Hello, Lo. Nice to see you again. Yes, we are. And he's going to be our healer. So, very important in the Shining Force series is to have healers. And of course, like any other Shining Force, if your hero dies in battle, it's pretty much game over. Well, not really game over per se, but you pretty much get revived out of church and lose some money in the process. Right. And here's the cards I'm talking about. To get the cards, there's two sets of cards. There's your allies and there's your enemies. To get your allies, you have to talk to your allies. There are certain points in the game that you'll get them. Right here, I talked to Luke, for example. Talked to him once. He talks about his background. I hope you guys hope I didn't go too fast for you on the first round. But on the second conversation, he gives you the card. Thank you, Luke. Yeah. Okay. Bat steak, huh? Never thought I heard. I never heard of a bat steak. Sounds yummy, I guess. Get back here. And he gives you the load card. What the cards do is that you'll meet a character later on in the game. Actually, in this video, you will meet him, but later on, he'll join the force. Kind of a spoiler, but I didn't tell you what kind of character it was. And the cards actually gives that character special bonuses. Certain things, whether it's like bonus in attack or HP or certain spells or certain something. Where are the others? Okay, so I'm getting kind of a little bit of lag here. Hello, Hans. Sorry about that. A little too fast. Okay. Nope. First, let's look at the color fortune. Whoa, your coat is blue. Good. Good observation. Yeah. Blue is color of hope. And color of growth. Oh. What kind of growth are you talking about here? Okay. Oh, and one more time. Here it is, a symbol for friendship. Oh, how nice. I just known you for, a couple minutes and we're friends. How nice. And up here's Tao. Let's talk to her. It's a bit of a long story, but before it became a marriage, I was made at a castle. Pippery Village in the west side of it. Okay. Inhabited by elves. Until that monster showed up. Okay. And you'll get her card much later in the game. Actually, not much later, but a little bit later in the game. Here's, again, Arrows. When you talk to him, he'll give you a couple of options to look at other people's stats, to pretty much put your money in the bank, gives advice, and does the formation. In the original Shining Force, however, his advice were kind of, I wouldn't say kind of, they're very limited. But in here, he actually does give you great detail on certain things. Actually, let's get some advice from him, by the way. Fall in the class of the enemy after you fight one of them. Don't drop your guard on the battlefield. Watch out for enemy counterattacks. Beware dwarf moon knights. Gate of the ancients. They're tough. You're still weak. Advance with care. Make sure you have 1 medical herb per person. That's actually very good advice. They're limited to AP. Yeah. Have low defense. Okay. So you're pretty much that's your hint right there. Healer. Yeah, won't do much on attack. Mage won't do great on physical attack, and archers will deal great on physical attack, but lacking defense. So those are your supports. So make sure you keep them back, and units. Whoop! Knocked my headset off. And and people like knights and warriors. Make sure they're pretty much on the front. Alright, talk to the king again because we need his permission to leave. And he'll give us some money, 100 points, which is nice. Thank you, sir. And in this game, as opposed to the first, as opposed to the Great Intention, well, that actually was kept in. And we'll talk to this doggy. Hell yeah, sweet. Sorry about that. Kind of lame sound effects there. And they're talking about Gong, or not Gong, but Gort. Sorry, Gort is another warrior. He will actually join later. You pick him. He's kind of an optional character. And he's actually a pretty good warrior, I think. Oh, forgot to get something. No, I am not. Sorry. Forgot one more thing. Here's the item shop. This is actually an items and weapon shop. This guy will sell you weapons. This guy sells you items. He's actually an ass. Doesn't sell weapons right now. Alright, so medical herbs are actually 10. And this is the other difference from the other ones. From even the Shining Force 2, and I think it might be even Shining Force 3. You can actually choose how many you want, which is quite nice. So let's see, how many characters do I have? Let's see if I remember. Alright, and if you push the top left button, you can get this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And here's another difference. You see that? If I can get to it. He's got a steel ring, which actually doesn't... Hold on. And that's another difference right there, too. He's got a steel ring, which actually does increase his defense, I believe. And the rings are actually a little bit more frequent, depending on what it is. And these like generic type rings actually affects anybody pretty much when you buy them. And you can buy as many of them as you want. Let's see, and you can actually equip, I think, more than one ring. Like, and I think in the first Shining Force you could, even Shining Force 2, I think. And here's the growth chart. You can see the HP. He's got no MP. He's got no magic resistance. His attack is kind of split. His defense is high, and he's got generic. He's got a kind of a split agility. Average agility, I should say. Max agility is kind of See, I don't even know how to read that. I think it gets low MP, I think it gets high agility, and a high attack and a little higher defense and magic resistance. I think that's how you read it. I really haven't read up on this. Alright, so let's actually buy some medical herbs. Let's buy 6 of them. And it goes into your item box. It doesn't go to your units per se. So let's go to the items. Alright, and you choose your guy, and here's another difference. There's two separate slots. You got your weapons here, you got your items here. Before it was pretty much just one box of four. I mean, you got 4 different slots for weapons and items. And you had to be really had to know which ones you wanted. So that's kind of the new addition to this a little bit. So we'll give Max 1 medical herb. We'll give Ken. Let's move over 1 medical herb. And those medical herbs really look like marijuana leaves. I'm not really gonna go into that much discussion. Let's just do that. And give 1 to load. There we go. I think we're ready. Alright, let's get the first battle started, folks. It's gonna be a long video, I think. And here's a conversation I was talking about earlier. There's the lagging. And that's Spelllock. Again, he's got a portrait, so he's going to be part of the. He's going to definitely be part of the forest later on. I don't use them. I don't use the cards. I'll try to find every card I can, just so you guys know that. Whoops, sorry. Ah, Dr. Pepper. Hell yeah. So he just pretty much briefly discussed the cards. Again, they have different usage depending on which ones you have, and you can only use them once. Alright, and here's another one. You got pretty much a mission objective. It says defeat the Rune Knight, and you get a clear bonus. If you do it on 8 turns or less, you get 250 gold coins, and each clear bonus is different. You might get cards, you might get money. Quite nice. And here's another difference. You can set up your formation. You can look at the map, which is what we're going to do. Here's your map. And go back to the clear conditions, or you can retreat. I think I might retreat. Yes. I'll go up here, go to Mountain Hut, and I want to talk to Gong. This is Gong. He's going to be another healer. He's actually a monk, but he's still a healer. So he says fate led him here, so he joins the force. So that's a nice little tip for you guys. It's actually pretty good at what he does. So I'm going to actually end the first video right here with a save, and when we come back after that long intro video of this, we'll start the first battle. What I'm going to do is actually pretty much did what I for the Shining Force CD, and that's pretty much have each battle represent a video, the complete full battle of each. So that might cut down on video time, or not video time, but how many videos I actually do make. Makes life a little bit easier on me, I think. But anyway, with that, folks, I will see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed.